Hello, my name is Samantha Sanday, and I will be talking about Joan of Arc. Table of Contents, Introduction. Joan of Arc was an extraordinary female leader of her time. She was a courageous, strong, and overall natural-born leader. She broke many set limits for women of her time. She is even a feminist icon women still look up to today. She exceeded many expectations of people around her, and that makes her admirable to many people today. Joan's backstory. Joan's life before her fame was not exciting. She was the daughter of a tenant farmer, Don Remy, her real name also being Jeanne d'Arc. Joan had grown up exposed to war constantly because of the 100-Year War that had started 75 years before she was even born. Joan's life really started when she had turned 13 and claimed she was hearing the divine voices of St. Michael, St. Catherine of Alexandria, and St. Margaret of Antioch. These voices had compelled her desire to lead the French army to win the 100-Year War. Since Joan was a woman, she could not do much for herself. She had to persuade a local government leader to lead her through some English-held territory so she could speak with King Charles VII to attempt to convince him to let her lead his armies because of her divine connection. Keep in mind, Joan had no prior military experience. But after a time of convincing King Charles VII, he started to trust that she was correct about the gods choosing her. Joan's time in battle. Her time in battle had begun. Soon after having the discussion with King Charles VII, she was sent off into battle with the French army with the goal of taking back the city of Orleans. Just before being sent into battle, Joan had done some things to her appearance. She had changed her appearance drastically. She wore a suit of white armor and, most importantly, cut her hair into a short neck-length bob, a typical haircut for a man back then. On the mission, Joan successfully assisted in leading the troops to victory during March 1429. In addition to that, she was even wounded in battle. Mere months later, King Charles VII took back his crown. At the ceremony, Joan stood by his side supporting him. Post-battle. After a nearly impossible win and capture of Orleans, Joan had been more ambitious than ever. After this battle, Joan had built up some more fame for herself, not only because of her distinct, unique style, but also because she was a woman of her time who had led men. This was virtually unheard of for people of her time. She had approached King Charles soon after the success of the Battle of Orleans and argued that they should capitalize on their win from the battle to try and capture Paris. King Charles hesitated at the idea. One of his valued members at court even advised him that Joan was becoming too powerful. Joan's capture. Soon after, the Anglo-Burgundians were able to reinforce their fortifications in Paris as well as return an attack that was led by Joan in September. King Charles then ordered Joan to resist a Burgundian attack on Compiègne. During the time she went to the town to defend it, she had gotten thrown off her horse as the town's gates were shutting. She was locked out of town, then captured by the Burgundians. She was held captive at the castle of Bouvriel, which was in use by English commander at Rouen. Joan's execution. After she had been captured, she was put on trial for 70 charges including heresy, dressing like a man, and most importantly witchcraft, which played in how she was executed. The Anglo-Burgundians had some underlying motive to put Joan on trial, not only to stop this young leader from gaining too much power, but also to discredit King Charles VII's coronation, which had happened solely because of Joan. King Charles did nothing when he heard Joan had been captured on trial for witchcraft. He did not want his reputation to be damaged because he was related to a supposed head trick. After a year in captivity, Joan had signed a confession to never receiving divine guidance. Several days later, she had failed orders by wearing men's clothing, causing authorities to give her the death sentence. On the morning of May 30th, 1431, being 19 years old, Joan was brought to the old marketplace of Rouen and burned at the stake because she had broken orders and worn men's clothing. In conclusion, Joan of Arc left an everlasting impact on feminism. She showed women of her time that if they wanted to be a leader, they could. She gave women the confidence to take charge and voice their opinions. She was overall a great woman that is still admired by women today for her courage and determination. Thank you. That was a quote from Joan of Arc, and thanks for listening. That's my sources. This is a little over 4 minutes, but I really tried so many times to do it less than 4 minutes. Thanks.